Hello guys, and welcome to today's video. Okay, so for this video, this might be one of the controversial ones because I'm actually going to show you guys what I believe to be the best PvE hand cannon. I know there's lots of PvP hand cannon, and very soon the meta is very likely to change due to quick draw being nerfed and 120 taking a bit of a hit, so the meta is slightly gonna change. But in terms of PvP, unless this weapon gets sunsetted, I believe this hand cannon will still be the best in slot in terms of PvE. It is completely awful for PvP, so I wouldn't recommend it if you are thinking of that. Okay, so let's get to the hand cannon. So the hand cannon I'm going to be on about today is the Seraph Officer Revolver. So this is the hand cannon that can essentially make one myself that people have been searching for. So there's two things that's obviously unique about this hand cannon compared to every other PvE hand cannon is, unlike all the other 180s, this is the only 180 that will roll some form of explosive perk. Obviously this is not explosive payload, it is time payload. So what I believe makes this even better than explosive payload is by the time the first explosion goes off, you've already applied the next one, making it a constant stagger, especially because you're shooting a 180 hand cannon, because you can essentially just spam the hand cannon on the target's head, making it a constant hit non-stop. Especially if you're running something like 4 times the charm and you're doing like a higher tier activity. So for example, I use this for my GM, allowing me to just proc 4 times the charm by shooting the head non-stop, and obviously the explosive payload staggers the target. Obviously you can always run this with like armour forge for more range, even though it's not really needed due to the explosive payload. Or you can do flute to barrel with handling, which also works. I believe I also have another version of this, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I have this version. Oh, I guess I have 3 versions of this. So I have this roll, which is pretty much just more slimline in terms of I got hammer forge, tactical mag, 4 times the charm, and time payload with a reload masterwork so that I can constantly shoot. And for a lower tier activity, I tend to use this more often because it's tactical mag, but instead of 4 times the charm, it's Ambition Assassin. The reason why I would not recommend an Ambition Assassin for a higher tier activity is you're not gonna kill that much with a kinetic hand cannon. Not because it's a 180, even if it was a 120 or a 140, you're not gonna get that many kills with your hand cannon. So Ambition Assassin feels like a wasted perk compared to 4 times the charm. But if anyone asks me why I use the Seraph hand cannon, is one of twofold. It's a 180 that has an explosive perk allowing me to stagger pretty much most targets on a constant basis, especially with 4 times the charm, allowing me to continue to spam it. And 2, it makes a warm mine cell. As long as you have some form of warm mine perk, which I always recommend to everybody, even if you're not doing a warm mine cell build, if you have a warm mine cell weapon, just put on global reach. To be honest, even if you're not doing a warm mine cell build and you have a slot free, put on global reach, because I can guarantee if you're in any form of fire team, someone is doing a warm mine cell build or has a warm mine cell weapon, allowing you to essentially use their warm mine cell to still kill multiple targets by having global reach compared to not having it. And whenever I cannot use my Seraph hand cannon because my kinetic slot is taken by my sniper, example during a GM, I'll be using my Icolos hand cannon. Now, this is a good substitute for my Seraph hand cannon in terms of higher tier activity, especially if it's like void. Example, the GM currently this week, if I remember correctly, the GM currently this week is the Inside Terminus, and I will be putting out a GM video later on this week, and you will notice that I'm using my Icolos hand cannon mainly because there's loads of void shields. So this is usually the role I like to use on my Icolos hand cannon. One, my armor forge for range. I got my Seraph round, which is pretty much kind of like a ricochet round, a better ricochet round, I want to say. Genesis, mainly because I'm mainly using it to break shield. So Genesis pretty much replenish the whole ammo, the whole mag, allowing me to constantly shoot. And Rampage, I like having handling or range on my hand cannon, so handling it fits well perfectly here. And this pretty much allows me to still make one myself whenever my Seraph Revolver is, whenever the slot is being taken by a different weapon slot. So what I usually do is I'll switch between the two. But in terms of the perfect, like compared to the two, the best one will always be the Seraph because of the explosive payload allowing you to stagger targets, compared to the best you can get on this Icolos hand cannon. Here's Rampage, because you cannot get payload, which breaks my heart, but it is what it is. So the reason why I'm making this video is one of two things. One, right now the Seraph hand cannon can be easily obtainable by simply using your Umbro engram in the helm, by simply just using it for the world loot. So I would say you should go do that now before the season updates to the new season, because one, I'm not sure if the helm will still be there, and if it is, I'm not sure if the world loot pool will not be increased due to more weapons being added to the loot pool, making it harder to get, or if the Seraph weapons will be completely taken out of the world loot pool. So the reason I'm essentially making this video right now is go get your own Seraph Revolver hand cannon, because especially with 120 being taken out of commission in terms of range, the Seraph Revolver is not even the next best thing, it's currently the best thing for PvE, but it's pretty much the only option in terms of hand cannon, the best option in terms of hand cannon currently in PvE. So I would say go get your own. But as always, I will say this is completely my opinion. You can choose to disagree, that's completely up to you. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you guys in the next video.
these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go on, run it back. You know that I run it.